Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sports 2.0 show, Rodney Newport, Tim, the splendid Splinter Van Straten. This is the Get the Kids to Bed version. Tim is freshly back from his vacation. Tim, how are you feeling after that nice little vacation you had there?
Lake of the Ozarks for a week, Rodney, and I feel nice and crisp, like when you just get back from like a week of hanging out on the lake and being on the boat and you come back and you have that like crispy bacon feel. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like I need to be a part of a breakfast platter, Rodney.
Yeah, well, weather pretty good there. Any rain, any storms, or mostly sun?
No. So shocking amount of rain early on. We drove there on Saturday, and there was a ton of rain on the drive. And then it pretty much rained all day Sunday, which was kind of disappointing. But by the time I think Tuesday night rolled around, we were pretty fortunate after that. But not often that you get like multiple days of rain in the middle of the summer there.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I am just sweating 8.5 under in the Bronx between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Nothing but sweating a little total. And the Red Sox can't throw strikes. So it's 6-0, bottom of the seventh, 2 outs. And the Red Sox are about ready to walk another guy. So I'm going to lose my total because the Red Sox can't throw strikes. But anyways, good evening. This is the Sports 2.0 network. Let's Get the Kids to Bed version. Rule number 1 is in place, and I've got these things are terrible. They're terrible, by the way.
Yeah, what is that?
It's Vista Bay Mango Lemonade Hard Seltzer. Now, my wife bought it. She thought she was being nice and getting some drink. It's like the Aldi's brand, and it's no good. And it's been nixed from this house. I got like 4 left in the refrigerator. I'm going to drink them, but these are not good, and they will never, ever be our sponsor, ever. What do you got tonight?
I have an Old Coors Light with the wrapper coming off of it. So, as you can see, only the finest of beverages on the Put the Kids to Bed version of Sports 2.0. I feel like, honestly, so you can be upset if this is breaking news to anyone, but obviously there is some sort of sponsorship that you have with a certain big gambling company now, right?
Oh yeah. Well, we'll break that a little bit later. I got some details on that.
Well, all I'll say though is that I feel like that company could provide us a few nicer beverages for when we do this show. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. That's really the whole point of it.
We'll break that down a little bit later. It's now 7-0 Yankees, by the way. 2 more runs and I lose this bet. No. It'll be awful. It's 7-0. Come on, Red Sox.
Just end the game. End the game.
That's what I'm saying. Call it rain. Throw a baseball at one of the outfielders. Call the game. I don't know.
How are the Red Sox in first place?
I don't know. They're not real good.
No.
They are in first place. We were talking about before the show. Them and the Giants are the 2 biggest frauds in all of Major League Baseball. Yeah, Red Sox not very good. Giants not very good. Both leading their division. In fact, the Giants, they both only have a 1-game lead, because St. Louis took care of the Giants a couple times, and the Dodgers lost today as well. Anyways, all right, let's move to golf.
Yeah,
Colin Morikawa. He doesn't even seem like he's human. He just kind of goes through the motion. I mean, he gets excited, yeah, but he's unflappable, and I think that was the word that the announcers were using. But your thoughts on your guy? You like Colin? What are your thoughts on Colin Morikawa?
Yeah, there are a lot of guys on tour who you watch them and they're like, oh, they're exceptional with the irons. They're great putters. They're fairway drive. There's a lot of guys that are really good and that we can look at and say, oh, they don't have a lot of weaknesses. But there aren't many guys who combine that with just stone cold focus and just they never seem to let the pressure get to them.
Yeah.
For years, John Rahm was a guy we looked at. Oh, he doesn't have any holes in his game, but we've seen him have, a bad hole and then things just sort of spiral. Same thing with Bryson. But Colin Morikawa is just so cool. And the fact that his first PGA championship, his first Open championship, and it's okay, I'm just going to go out there, do my thing, and he wins both of them on a massive scale is just incredible. And at 24 years old, it's you're right, he's not human, and there's more to come from him, because if he's this cool now, what's he going to be like 3 years from now?
That's right. And you just kept hitting clutch shots. I thought there for a while yesterday he was kind of going to fall a little bit. I think he had a couple shaky holes there, but overall came back and was pretty good today. And really, I wouldn't say, Louis Oosthuizen lost it today. he lost his chance today. I wouldn't say Jordan Spieth lost his day today. I mean, he finished 4 under. He did for a while, obviously, with several bogeys, and then he finished yesterday with back-to-back bogeys. But Louis at +1. I mean, and do you start to feel bad for Louis Oosthuizen? I mean, the dude is like runner-up, 3rd place, 4th place all the time in these majors. I mean, do you feel bad for him, or I mean, he's making a good living, obviously.
I mean, he's making an incredible living. So yeah. So what's the stat that I texted you earlier this week? Because he has 1 major.
Yeah.
And then he has 7 other majors where he was either runner-up or like 3rd place. So Louis Oosthuizen going into this tournament is like 12 strokes away from winning 8 majors.
Yeah.
And then if you include this one, another 4 strokes. Okay, so then he's 16 strokes away from winning 9 majors. Like, he is just right there. And at some point you feel bad because it's like, man, so close, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But at the same time, it's like, okay, clearly he is one of the best golfers of the last 10 years to be able to do this, no matter the major. Because, like, all these majors are different. The Masters is way different than the British Open. It's way different than the U.S. Open. And he goes to all of them, and he's there on Sunday in the final pairing. Like, that's incredible.
He either is in the final pairing or withdrawals from tournaments is one of the two. I mean, he is a withdrawal king. Hey, did you see the next major is the Masters? Have you seen the betting odds yet?
Yeah, so I saw you post about them,
Yeah.
but I don't really remember. I'm going to guess, though, that your 2 favorites, I think Rahm's going to be one of your favorites.
He is.
And then maybe Morikawa's there, but I also wouldn't be surprised if people have a lot of love for Jordan, especially because he just loves Augusta as well.
Jon Rahm and Jordan Spieth are tied at +1,000, 10-1. Yeah. Dustin Johnson's +12 to 1. Brooks Koepka 14-1.
Brooks was great today, by the way.
Great.
Boy, I was watching Brooks and I was like, oh boy, is he gonna do this again?
And so was Jon Rahm. Rahm was pretty good today. JT and Rory are 16-1, Xander Schauffele 18-1, and then you get to Colin Morikawa and Bryson DeChambeau at 20-1. Lock it in for Colin now.
I mean, like, it just feels like he can win any tournament that he's in, right? Like, are we at this point where it's like, okay, we need to start putting him in the same tier that we put DJ and Rahm and those guys? Like, why are we not?
Right. I mean, he's only won 2.
He's only played in 4.
Yeah, no, I get it. So I guess my biggest disappointment, and you can think about this as well, for the Open would have been Tyrell Hatton.
Oh.
I think that was a guy that I thought I had big hopes for. Missed the cut, obviously. Other than that, I was looking at the list of guys. Obviously, Phil Mickelson missed the cut, but that's not a surprise. He's been really good and obviously very bad. Patrick Cantlay, I think, would be a surprise. He missed the cut. Patrick Reed. But other than that, then on the other side, the surprises that I liked, I mean, there was several guys. Dylan Fratelli, like, where did he come from? He missed the cut like forever. Your guy, Robert McIntyre.
Yeah, Bobby Mack.
Bobby Mack finished T8. Scotty Scheffler, of course, was very good. So, that's kind of Corey Connors had a good tournament as well.
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt, but like, there are a few guys that seem to be in the top 10 of all these majors. And I'll let someone much smarter and with a lot more time on their hands actually go and look. But doesn't it just feel like we always see either Mackenzie Hughes or Corey Connors in the top 10 of a major?
Yeah.
Always one of those two. And then we always get like Scotty Scheffler in the mix. Yep. And then Tony Finau, guaranteed, no matter what, will always finish in the top 15.
Yep. T15. Yep.
Yeah. And then then there's a rotation of like, okay, this week it's a Dylan Fratelli. The next week it'll be like Kevin Streelman. But like, it just seems like we're seeing the same few guys that are there. And I'm starting to think that we need to include one of those Canadian bros in every single one of our lineups, like going forward for a major, at least.
Canadian guy and the guy from South Africa. Those are every lineup's got to have a Canadian and a South African in it.
I was going to say though, Dylan Fratelli, I had no idea this week, and I follow golf pretty well. And like, I knew of Dylan Fratelli, but I had no idea how far the guy bombs it with the driver.
Yeah,
like he was out driving Bryson.
Yeah, I had no idea either.
Who granted Bryson, has a crappy driver, as he'd like to tell everyone. So.
Yeah, how about that? That was, of course, a story, and we're a couple days behind on that one. But Bryson didn't do himself any favors, and obviously Brooks Koepka liked that story. And did you see the footage of them kind of warming up together? Not together, but near each other. Were you watching? So Bryson finished his third round yesterday, and went to the practice. Well, he was teeing off, so he went to the practice track, and the only spot that was available was like 2 down. So basically, it was Bryson. There was an empty one, and then Brooks was there, and obviously the British tabloids and British media loved it. But I don't think they said anything. I don't think anything happened. But certainly a story there. So.
I'm so Team Koepka, by the way. Before I was like, I like both. It's kind of fun. Now I'm just Team Koepka.
Yeah, because Bryson's like that whiny little classmate that always tells on you. I feel like
Brooks's tweet, or no, his quote after his round of saying, "I drove the ball great. I love my driver." I think that's what really sold me.
Yeah, that was the. What was that? The troll move over the week, and I was talking to Skeeter Thursday night, and I really felt like Brooks should get permission from his sponsor late Thursday night to show up Friday wearing Cobra brand. Hey guys, we're going to play this track. I'm going to show up just Friday and I'm going to wear Cobra just because I want to troll Bryson. I thought that would have been the ultimate troll.
The work they did to make a driver just for me.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. Yeah. Such hard workers over there.
Yeah, that's funny. All right. Hey, let's move our attention to the NBA real quick. Milwaukee Bucks 1 game away from winning the NBA title. I'll pat myself on the back a little bit. I did predict Bucks in 6.
Yeah.
We're kind of going around the wrong way, the backwards way here, but it's looking like Bucks in 6.
So I texted all of you after the first quarter yesterday because I watched the first quarter and I was like, okay, the Suns are doing what they've been doing in Phoenix, which is they don't miss shots. They made like 12 shots in a row. Jay Crowder can't miss. Like no one can miss. They're up by 16 and I'm like, okay. And then I moved on and I was watching some Jeopardy, blah, blah, blah. And then I get a halftime notification that the Bucks are up by 3. So I texted all of you and I was like, what the hell happened? And no one responded. So, and of course I watched like the second half and then I was able to see all that. The Bucks build a lead, then lose the lead, but then able to hold on. But what the hell happened?
So Phoenix quit playing defense. Milwaukee scored somewhere around 80 points in the middle 2 quarters. They couldn't miss, but Phoenix defense was atrocious.
It was the Drew Holiday show.
Chris Paul still wasn't very good.
No.
DeAndre Ayton didn't really try to rebound or make his presence known in the paint. Really, I mean, it was Devin Booker, and I liked the pace he was scoring. I was a sucker and took that boost where it was Devin Booker 30 plus and the Suns win. And I actually kind of liked it a lot. And of course I liked Booker scoring 40, but the Suns didn't win. So I lost that one. But I mean, it was Booker and that was about it. And Milwaukee tried harder. I mean, I thought they tried harder and, late in the game, they made several plays. That alley-oop from Drew to Antetokounmpo, one of the best NBA finals plays you'll see. So, so now tomorrow, 4 to 4.5 point favorite. I got to go Milwaukee tomorrow.
Oh, I'm picking Milwaukee tomorrow too. Yeah. At home, just with the way that Game 5 sort of transpired, I just feel like they have it. They're in a very good position right now. And what's been really nice about Milwaukee is that, the first couple games, it felt like it was okay. If Giannis doesn't go off, then they don't have a chance. And then we saw like Chris Middleton drop 40 in Game 4. And then we saw Drew Holiday have a huge game in Game 5. And I saw the stat where in the last 3 games, their big 3, Milwaukee, Giannis is averaging 33 and 12 on 60% shooting. Middleton, 29 and 7. Drew's like 20 and 10. So like they're getting their big 3. And when that happens, like they're out playing Phoenix's big 3, where Chris Paul has been very good the last couple games and Ayton's taken a step back.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about that. I talked a week or so ago about how Milwaukee's bench wasn't real good. I mean, Pat Connaughton been better. He's made some shots. I mean,
They
I
gave him
think
33 minutes, by the
yeah,
way, which and again, we were saying after the first couple games, like PJ Tucker should not be getting that much
no.
run just because he can't give you anything on offense. So PJ got 24 minutes yesterday. Pat Connaughton got 33.
Yeah, and obviously, what I was getting to there is that Bobby Portis is a guy I think could come in and be a microwave. He could play.
Mm-hmm.
He could play 20 minutes and score 15 points. Whereas Phoenix, I guess their microwaves would be Cam Johnson, campaign, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of railed on the Bucks bench, but their bench might look better than the Suns right now. Cam Johnson, campaign, Torrey Craig, neither one were very good yesterday. So should be fun. I'm betting the Bucks tomorrow. I'll see what kind of sucker bet they can give to me, -4 or -5, whatever it's going to be. But should be fun. And my biggest excitement is going to be, how does the city of Milwaukee respond? I mean, you've been to Milwaukee, right?
Only for one Brewers game.
Yeah, fun city. I mean, those people, and they love to party, and that's typical in all these cities that have championships. But I'm telling you, those people in Milwaukee are due for a title, and it'll be fun to see. But Milwaukee, the game in Milwaukee, they couldn't ask for anything more. And obviously for Phoenix, you just have to find a way to win this one. And I say that I think Milwaukee's going to win, but I'm not counting Monty Williams and his team out yet. I think he's got some tricks up his sleeve for tomorrow.
It's very possible that Milwaukee is the one that gets a little complacent, thinking, okay, we're back at home. And then and I feel like if Phoenix is going to pull off an upset on Tuesday, it's going to be because Chris Paul ends up dropping 34.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would have to be the Chris Paul game, because Phoenix has been getting, like, Devin Booker taking 33 shots and scoring 40 points and all that. But, like, when Chris Paul is the one that is able to give you close to 30, that changes the whole dynamic of that team. And he's good enough to where if he needs to score, he could score. If he needs to facilitate, he can facilitate. But I think he needs to take more of a scoring role. And, we've seen Drew kind of struggle with him in those first couple games. And I think he needs to get back to it on Tuesday.
Yeah, I agree with you. If Phoenix wins, they obviously need much more from Chris Paul. All right, hey, let's move to baseball real quick. Second half of Major League Baseball has started. It started on Friday because Thursday the Yankees-Red Sox couldn't get their game in due to COVID. Now, I'll start it with a couple of weeks ago, I gave you a fake $1,000. Mm-hmm. You put a big chunk of your money on the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
Obviously, you lost Ronald Acuna since then.
Yeah.
But the Mets are showing a little bit of weakness here. Now, they did come back and win today. They are 2 games up on Philly, 4 games up on Atlanta. You still holding strong with Atlanta there in the NL East?
Yeah. I am doing so knowing full well that Ronald Acuna Jr. is officially seated for the remainder of the year.
Yes.
The Mets have, in the last week, lost their best pitcher.
Yes.
And they have also lost their I don't know if he's been their best hitter this year, but certainly like the big star on their team in their lineup. The Braves have a better run differential. I think the Braves as a whole just are much better suited to go down the stretch than the Mets are. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about the Braves. It's such a weird division, like all of it. Like the Marlins have been in last place all year, and yet they're not totally out of it, and they actually have the second best run differential in that division behind Atlanta. Like they're weird. But
are you not concerned at all by Philadelphia?
You know what? I probably should be, but I'm not. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. I just feel like the Phillies. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but they don't seem like a team that can just surge in September and then win a division.
Cubs made a trade with Jock Peterson. They sent him off. I mean, is it the first of many? I mean, we keep talking about how the Cubs are going to sell, and we're now 12 days away from the deadline. I mean, we've kind of got you and I have a little bit of a pulse of the Cubs here in Central Illinois, but I mean, or are we just going to see, well, we didn't really find any suitors for some of these guys? I mean, if I had to ask you right now, put you on the spot, is Chris Bryant a Cub on August 1st? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is Javier Baez a Cub on August 1st? Yes or no?
Yes.
See, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Baez goes to the Mets. Wow. Anyways, let's get back to this. Kyle Hendricks on the Cubs August 1st, yes or no?
Yes.
Anthony Rizzo, August 1st, Cubs, yes or no?
Yes.
So, I mean, like, who are they selling then? I mean,
Yeah.
you sold Jock Peterson. Like, who else you selling then? I guess
like it could be like Zach Davies to a team that's pitching desperate.
Right.
I think of all of the quote unquote big name guys, I think Craig Kimbrell's probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
I think Craig Kimbrell's the one just because he's the veteran. He's having just an absolutely monstrous year. And I think the Cubs know that like they're not going to get this Craig Kimbrell like next year, nor does it really matter because they're clearly in a rebuild. And I think that there's going to be a team that looks and says, okay, Craig Kimbrell's the missing piece in our bullpen, and they could get a really nice haul for him. So he's probably the one that I could see most likely being dealt. But I just think that they're going to ask way too much for Chris Bryant, and teams are just going to be like, I'll just worry about it in free agency.
Yeah. So I'm starting here in the National League. So Dodgers, Padres, Giants, obviously right now are all three playoff teams. Mm-hmm. I think I asked you this 2 weeks ago. Will the NL West still get three teams in the playoffs, or Reds, Phillies, Cubs, Cardinals, Braves, anybody going to run down for the wild card? Your pick?
I think NL West gets all three in. I think the Dodgers get in. I think the Padres get in, and I just think that the Giants are not going to win the division. But I also think the Giants have built up a really, really nice record, and they have enough guys on that team to where they can avoid to have like a total epic second half collapse. Yeah. Like, I just think they got a lot of veterans who just know how to grind out and win some games, both on the pitching side and on the hitting side. So they're just going to be able to just like hang tough and then grind their way to a wild card spot.
And that's the frustration, obviously as a Cardinal fan, you can't really think about playoffs at one game under 500, but you think about if you get over 500 and start winning some games, I mean, you're still a long way back. I mean, you've dug such a hole at 7.5 games back. Like, you got to think about catching those NL West teams, and I just don't know as if those teams are going to lose enough for anybody to catch them. Is kind of the issue. I mean, Cardinals could get hot, but they got to win. Go ahead.
What's your mindset as a Cardinal fan? Are you looking at it more of, we need to root for the Dodgers and Padres and Braves and Phillies to lose games, or are you still holding out hope that they can win the NL Central? And you're saying, hey, look, like, we have a chance to pass the Cubs as early as this week because you're playing them. And then, the Reds you think can fade, and then we'll see what happens with Milwaukee. So where are you looking at?
I mean, for me, it's you want first place to lose. So if the Brewers are playing anybody besides, one of those other wild card teams, great, they lost. And then I mean, right now I'm focused on trying to catch San Diego because they are the second wild card. You're 7.5 games behind them. You're actually closer to San Diego than you are Milwaukee. That's your path to the playoffs. So like Washington beating San Diego today was a good thing for the Cardinals. And that, and I don't really look at standings much. I look at standings, but I don't really follow playoff implications really until after the All-Star break. It's for me, it's fair game after the All-Star break. And that's when you really got to start looking at it. But what do you got? You got 68, 69 games left of the season and you're 7.5 games down. I'm already thinking you're going to have to win 42, 45 of these last games or you're not making it. I mean, because you got to win 80. You're going to have to win at least like 88 to get in the playoffs. So
we've seen Schilt magic though in August and September. We've seen it a couple times, and that's why when we talked about this, I said, hey, I'm not ruling out the Cardinals yet.
Yeah, and 12 games with the Brewers still out there. Hey, let's move to American League real quick. Any second half surprises you're looking at in American League, or are we looking at Boston, White Sox, Houston, Tampa Bay, and Oakland as your teams? Or are you going to see Toronto or even Seattle sneak in there as a playoff team?
I could see Toronto being aggressive at the deadline and maybe going after a pitcher. I don't know who. But I could see them being one of those teams that gets aggressive there. I think the AL Central is the one that's totally wrapped up. Cleveland, I think, is going to go into sell mode. There's 3 really bad teams there. I think the White Sox are just going to roll. I'd be curious to see, though, if they decide to be buyers, though, as well, or if they're just looking at it saying, hey, we're getting Eloy Jimenez back in a couple weeks. Like, we don't need to buy because we're adding him. Astros and A's, I both feel pretty good about.
Yeah.
Mariners are going to fall out of it. The number of games that the Mariners have won, like an extra innings this year and 1-run games, is just not sustainable for the last couple months, so they're going to fall out of it. So they for sure have been my biggest surprise of the first half, but I think that they're more of a flash in the pan and that they're going to regress pretty bad here. I would love to see honestly, I would love to see Toronto, going back to them real quick, end up winning that American League East. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. And, you know, the fact that they haven't played the whole year in their own stadium, in their own country, and there's just been a lot of adversity faced their way, I think it'd be a great story.
Hear me out on this one real quick, and then we're going to move to a little Space Jam talk. White Sox go get Max Scherzer.
I could see that.
I mean, they almost become. I mean, they're the favorites if they get Max Scherzer, right? I mean, I guess Dodgers are probably.
So then the rotation becomes, you know, Giolito, Lynn, who congrats on the extension to your boy Lance Lynn, by the way.
Scherzer and Rendon.
Scherzer and Rodon, yeah, and then Keuchel as kind of that long relief in the pen. Yeah, Liam Hendricks.
Yeah,
I have to think that. Yeah, that's going to be your American League favorite there. If that's what they end up doing, the offense gets healthy because you're going to get Robert back, you're going to get Jimenez back. Like, yeah, I think they're in really good shape.
Yeah, I mean, I literally threw Max Scherzer out. I mean, I don't think there's any connection at this point.
No,
but I mean, if you know Tony La Russa at all, he's probably pushing his front office to go get somebody else, improve his team. I mean, Tony La Russa doesn't care about the future of this team 5 years from now.
And nor should the White Sox be thinking about the future. This is the window, and as they've learned from their buddies on the north side, they're not guaranteed to have, you know, a decade worth of success in World Series appearances. Like, this may be their only shot. You just never know.
By the way, it's 7-1 Yankees. One more run and sinks my under 8.5. I'm already sad. 7-1. Anyways, all right, let's talk a little Space Jam Part 2. We both watched it, not together. Did not watch it together.
I wish. I would have loved to.
Did not watch it together. It's funny because, we did not watch it together, but we didn't even know we were going, and we both went on the same day, I think.
Well, you went to a theater like an old timer, and I watched it on HBO Max like a hipster.
No,
so
I don't even know how to do that because I'm almost 39 years old. I don't even know how to do that. But anyways, I liked the movie quite a bit, and I know I was very trollish with my comments, but I mean it. I liked it. I thought LeBron was good in the movie. I thought the movie was good, and you got to understand this is a kids movie, and I'll let you. And you're the one that wants to talk more about this. It's a kids movie. People chill out on LeBron sucks. Yeah, why? You know, I liked the movie. I thought it was really good. Your thoughts on Space Jam 2?
All right, so I'm going to give you my negatives first, okay?
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, there's no such thing as a perfect movie, and this is certainly not a perfect movie. It did feel a little bit like Warner Brothers wanted a 2-hour advertisement for all of their entities.
Yeah, I could see that.
The movie was also probably 10 to 15 minutes longer than it should have been.
Okay.
But that's all I got.
That's it.
I mean, all right. So here's the thing, and I think that you put it brilliantly here. We have to change our perspective, okay? When we go into a Quentin Tarantino film, right, or when we go into seeing a movie that has, you know, Robert De Niro and Al Pacino and like all these, like, we need to change our mindset. Like, we went into a movie with an NBA player and Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Okay. So knowing that, you have to look at it through a completely different lens. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, is this going to entertain me? Am I going to, you know, chuckle at a few parts? Am I going to be able to follow the storyline? Am I going to, you know, avoid checking my phone? Because I think that's a big indicator too. Like, if you're watching a movie and you're like checking your phone, whatever, like, it ain't a good movie. It ain't it. Right. But like, I was like, I'm enjoying this. I'm along for the ride. There are parts that made me laugh. Like, was it perfect? No. But like, for what it was It was very entertaining, and I'm glad that it's doing well at the box office, and I'm glad that kids are enjoying it, because at the end of the day, it's not for old crusty white guys. Like, it's for kids. Like, I think we need to realize that.
Yeah, all three of my kids really liked it. Now, they've seen, they weren't alive during the heyday of the original Space Jam. They've all seen it. I mean, they don't have the and that's really, and we might be a little bit different than those maybe in different states or different parts of the country that maybe don't have as much of the Jordan bias as we do here in Central Illinois, because it's real. It's very real here in Central Illinois. And I think the MJ lovers, I call them, literally went into this movie and hated it before it started.
Yeah.
LeBron's in it. He needs to shut up and dribble. If he would just quit talking about politics, it would be a better movie. I said he could have saved puppies and babies from a burning building, and people still would have came out of this. LeBron sucks. Oh, he's always all about LeBron. I mean, come on, people.
I would like to redirect everyone's attention to RottenTomatoes.com. It is the foremost expert on all things movie reviews. The original Space Jam, that if you ask Michael Jordan fans, was the greatest movie ever made. And believe me, I love the original Space Jam. I was young. I have all the nostalgia for it. So I'm part of that group that loves Space Jam. The original Space Jam got 44% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
That is rotten. That is a rotten grade with an audience score of 63%. Okay. The new Space Jam, also rotten, 30%. Yeah, bad. Guess what? Audience score, 81%. So both movies, rotten to the critics, liked by audiences.
Yeah.
That's it. Get over it.
Yeah. It just is crazy how negative talk is on this movie. It's like, oh, it's, and they can't even necessarily tell you why it sucked. They just, I don't like it. LeBron needs to just flop a little bit more. And why wasn't he flopping in the movie? It's like, all right.
Yeah. And not to avoid, I want to avoid all spoilers for those that haven't seen it.
Yeah, no.
It just came out a couple days ago. But no, I legitimately enjoyed it. I think that you should go in with a new perspective of, oh, this is clearly a kid's movie with cartoon characters. Okay, I'm going to try to take my critic glasses off and just enjoy it. But I did not like how they just stuck the Nike logo on as many things as possible, including the jerseys. I thought that was a little much. The Toon Squad jerseys have the Nike and LeBron's logo. I'm like, okay, we get it. We get it.
Did you see who was courtside last night in Phoenix?
Sure did. Adele.
And so was LeBron. LeBron was there too. But and of course he was getting hated for that too, because he was, he can't make his way to the finals, so he's got to pay for it.
As if he hasn't been to 10 straight before that.
Yeah. And he paid nothing for that ticket, by the way.
How is it that one athlete lives so rent-free in half of America's heads?
Right. I agree with you on that one. Hey, we're running a little bit short on time. We've kind of went over our designated time. So it is time for See Ya Time, my favorite part of the Sunday night show. And then on Wednesday night, of course, we will get to the GCDs of the week. It is See Ya Time, where these people have been eliminated from their perspective whatever over the last, we can go about 10 days here worth, right?
Yeah. I was going to say, keep in mind, this is a week and a half's worth of See Ya's.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to roll through. See ya, Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, which means see ya, NHL on NBC.
Yep, see ya.
See ya, Nikita Kucherov's shirt.
Yes, and the press conference.
Yeah. See ya, Britney Spears' manager, Larry Rudolph.
Yeah. And see ya, Britney Spears' concert. She says she's not doing them anymore until her dad quits telling her what she can wear. She's 38 years old. She's my age. I'm pretty sure she's my age, by the way.
It's a very sad story. The whole thing. Terrible.
It is, yes.
See ya, Kevin Na not playing in the Open Championship, as we clearly know now.
And you knew that was my guy.
See ya, Jonah Nupel on a flight to Texas last week.
He didn't fly. They drove.
Oh, drove. Oh, well, still see ya. Nice little drive to the Alamo.
Yeah, they went to Amarillo, had a good time. He went to a couple caves. It was his 10th birthday little celebration, so he had a good time.
See ya, fans at the Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah, and we'll get to more on that here in a minute, because I know you'll have another see ya here in a little bit on that.
See ya, Trevor Bauer merchandise in the team store. I said, very old see ya.
Yeah, see ya, dude.
See ya, Siwoo Kim, who withdrew from the John Deere.
So, yeah, it was a while back.
Yeah. See ya, Matthew Wolf, also not in the Open Championship. See ya, Jacob deGrom, Mookie Betts, Yadi Molina, all the Astros for not playing in the All-Star game. So can we just talk about how all of the Houston Astros opted out of the All-Star game? They are the gutless choking dogs of the league.
Yeah,
all of them.
You're right. You are so right. It was nice that the White Sox beat up on them the last 2 days. There are no more just, I'm kind of an Astros fan. Either you are or you aren't. There's no doubt about that.
No, the worst. See ya, Ronald Acuna Jr. Very sad.
It's sad.
See ya, Barkevius Mingo. He got arrested for some weird, gross stuff.
Yeah, weirdo.
See ya, Team USA. Lost to Nigeria and then lost to Australia. What happened there?
Losing right now to Spain.
And now Keldon Johnson's on the team. I mean, for God's sake, JaVale McGee, what are we doing?
Why can't Zion, and Trey be on this team?
I mean, to be fair, it's not like it's like, oh, once you get drafted to play for Team USA, you have to go. Like, it is a choice, and maybe Zion Williamson doesn't want to go to Tokyo and play in an empty gym and be quarantined for 3 weeks. Like, it doesn't sound very fun.
No, because have you seen those beds they're putting them in?
Yeah, like they can't even smash on the beds. Like Zion alone, ain't gonna be able to get held up by some cardboard boxes. He tries to bring one of the track and field runners on there, man. Like, it's disaster.
Yeah.
Bad.
Zion, John, Trey, it would be 3 perfect. But yeah, you're right. McGee was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. This is the coolest thing I've done ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Also, well, actually, it would be the second coolest thing JaVale McGee has done because he also has a Grammy. But that's a story for another day.
That's true.
See ya, Conor McGregor's ankle.
God.
God. See ya, Bubba Watson withdrew from the Open. See ya, Aaron Nola was placed on the COVID list. Again, no idea if he's still on there. See ya, England. So I got to say, I didn't watch a single second of the European Championship until they were in extra time in that England-Italy game. I was like, all right, fine. You know what? Whatever. Screw it. I'll throw it on. It was as boring as I thought until they got to the PKs. And then as soon as the PKs happened, I was like, oh, God, this is going to become a race thing, isn't it? And then sure enough, here we are.
Soccer still sucks.
Yeah, it's not fun. I apologize to anyone watching who was really into it. But, man, and also PKs, yeah, they're exciting, but it's also a terrible way to decide a championship game.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah, soccer sucks. Period. Plain and simple.
See ya, Duncan Keith.
Yeah, he's gone.
He gone. See ya, KBO, suspended due to COVID.
Yeah.
Just a KBO.
I used to like it during the pandemic.
It was the only sport going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of hockey over the next few seas, so I apologize for that. See ya, Pecorine, retired. Old-ass Pecorine. See ya, Zach Parise and Ryan Suter. Both of them bought out by the Wild. We'll get Hockey Guy Dan's thoughts on that, I'm sure, but that's a lot of money to be paying out to those two guys over 8 years.
Yeah, we'll talk hockey a little bit later in the summer. Yeah. Not today.
See ya, the 7-inning DA or 7-inning doubleheader and runner on second base rule in 2022.
Good move, Rob. Good move.
Finally, Rob Manfred does something good. See a National League All-Star team for the 8th year in a row. How is it that your league is so bad at the All-Star game every single year?
They can't hit. They can't pitch. They can't field. They can't.
But no, it's the best baseball. Let's make baseball all like the National League. That makes sense. Bunch of losers. Ridiculous. See ya, Richard Sherman. That was also weird.
Weird.
NFL is really good at just sprinkling in some of these ridiculous arrests just when we start to not talk about the NFL.
Oh yeah. It's almost like it's staged.
Yeah. See ya, Bradley Beal, health and safety protocol. So he gone. See ya, Shea Weber might miss all of next season and his career might be in jeopardy. That came out of nowhere.
Not good.
See ya, Keith Yandel bought out by
Phoenix,
the Panthers.
No.
Panthers.
Yeah,
Panthers
Phoenix,
now.
yeah.
Phoenix. They're not even Phoenix anymore. They're Arizona.
They're still playing Phoenix.
So, Hartford. See ya, Jock Peterson traded to the Braves. See ya, Will Zalatoris withdrew. That was a rough looking swing he had. He held the back. I was like, oh God, he's gone.
Will the thrill. See ya, dude.
See ya, Ryan Graves traded to the Devils. See ya, Kevin Love, another Olympic withdrawal.
Yeah.
See ya, Starlin Castro.
Yeah. What's going on there?
I don't know. I have not pursued the story any further, so I I kind of was assuming that you knew the details and that you didn't need
yeah.
to go further into a domestic violence thing.
I mean, but isn't this like the second time? No,
For Starlin?
I thought so. Maybe I'm getting him and Addison Russell, who I don't even know where he's at anymore. Maybe I'm getting those guys
Mexican
confused.
League, last I checked, for Addison Russell, future Hall of Famer.
Good spot for him.
See ya. This one's gonna hurt you. See ya, Ted Ginn Jr.
Yeah, no, one of my favorites of all times.
Get the bus ready, Canton. See ya, Nick Leddy, traded to the Red Wings. See ya, Ryan Ellis, traded to the Flyers. See ya, Andrew Ladd, traded to the Coyotes. Just a flurry of NHL moves yesterday. That was exciting. See ya, Francisco Lindor and Jacob deGrom, both on the IL. A killer for the New York Metropolitans.
Ouch. Yeah, not good. And then did you see that play today by Tyrone Walker?
Who the hell is Tyrone Walker?
Taiwan Walker, their pitcher.
Oh, Taiwan. Oh, yeah. Yes, I did. That was amazing.
Yeah. By the way, Ted Ginn, 33 career touchdowns receiving. He had 10 in 2015. That's when I liked him. I fell in love with Ted Ginn in 2015. He was 30 years old then. He retired as a Bear, huh? 35 years old. Oh,
yeah, he was on the Bears this year. Yeah, it was very short-lived and very forgettable. This one was courtesy of you. I only have 3 left, Rodney, but this was yours. See ya, Shane Lowry's jug.
Yeah, see ya, jug. He spent a lot of time with that jug, though.
2 years with his jug.
Likes that jug. Oh. By the way, 9-1 Yankees now, by the way. See ya.
Oh, yep. All right, that's another one. See ya, Rodney's under bet. All right, see ya, Coco Gauff has contracted coronavirus and will not be an Olympian. These Olympics are not going to be fun, are they?
No, they're not. It's going to suck, and there's going to be. I think there's going to be plenty of storylines.
And then the last one from, and really this mostly applies to just me since I'm the only one that cared about it. See ya, David Fletcher's 26-game hitting streak. Went 0 for 5 today, so the 26-game hitting streak, which was the longest in the majors this year, has come to an end, unfortunately. And
eventually, see ya, Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yeah, man, that sucks. That's bad. I don't. So basically, even if Seattle doesn't take him, the relationship is broken beyond repair, and they're going to trade him one way or another.
Yeah, he's pissed.
So why is he pissed?
Well, he's not saying much, but I feel it has to do with he doesn't like the way they handled his shoulder surgeries.
That would make sense.
Yeah. I mean, he did. And then I think they've kind of, I don't know if they lied to him or misled him, and he didn't like it. I mean, I don't know. He's probably washed up by now. I hope not. I hope he goes somewhere and plays well. I hope it's Eastern Conference. I don't want to see him in the West. I mean, Seattle's not taking that contract, though, are they?
Yeah, what did we decide? Because we looked at his contract not too long ago. What?
Yeah, I'll pull it up real quick. Left? He does. 2 years left on his contract, yes.
That's not bad.
It's not. I mean, if he goes there, he's probably captain.
Yeah, I mean, they could take Mark Giordano from Calgary, who could be a captain candidate. I'm like, there's a lot of really interesting players that if Seattle is like, you know what, let's just try to win immediately. Like, they could put together a really nice team. Like, what if they draft Carey Price? Like, I know that Carey Price apparently has some injury thing that he might need surgery on, but like, could you imagine if Seattle just takes Carey Price? They have a franchise goaltender just like that. Like, then life's going to get very easy for them, and we're going to have a Vegas 2.0 situation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, so Vladimir has a no trade clause. He's got 2 years left, this year and next, at $15 million over 2 years.
That's honestly, if he's healthy, like, that's not bad. And Seattle can immediately plug him in. That's a first-line winger, and then that's I mean, that's a potential 30-goal scorer if he's healthy.
Yeah. Well, I'm sad. I'm sad.
I know. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we got to get off here. We went a little long today, but we had to make up for it with missing the last two. I'm glad you're back, man.
Did you do a show when I was gone, or did you just ignore it?
We just didn't do one. I couldn't do it without you.
The seat can't be filled by anyone, you know? It's probably because everyone else are the kids that are being put to bed.
Yeah.
Anyways, came back.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me. We'll be back on Wednesday. You've got a goatless gutless choking dog of the week on Wednesday. We'll have more see you time, talk more sports. Well, maybe we'll have an NBA champion. If not, we'll be getting ready for Game 7. So, Tim, thank you, buddy. And we will see you next time on the Sports 2.0 Put the Kids to Bed version. I'm Rodney. He is Tim the Splendid Splinter Van Stratton. So long for just a while. This is Sports 2.0 Network.